Hello, precious peeps. Welcome to my channel, 50 plus who's counting. Let me get this camera a little bit closer to me so I can actually look directly at you without raising my head so much. So, it is a very interesting time we're living right now where coronavirus is taking over the whole world, and we are battling and doing our best to not give in to protect the world. And it's not the first time when something major happened to me here in America. The first one was the power blackout in New York when I lived in New York for I think 3 or so days. People would get out on the street and barbecue and socialize and get closer to each other and understand that connection is the key to survival. And then 9/11 happened when I was pregnant, 9 month pregnant, living in Manhattan. Then that struck our country and our consciousness, uh, saying that we have to be more careful, we have to be more proactive and be aware. And now we have this coronavirus, and it took us even to the and more like next level, not just be aware, not just to connect, but look within. We are forced to be homebound and spend a lot of time with yourself. Spend a lot of time with yourself. What does it mean? A lot of people are scared to look in their own eyes in the mirror. A lot of people don't want to face themselves. A lot of people are not comfortable to be by themselves and to be not connected, not going, not doing something on a daily basis. But we are forced right now to do that. For me, it's a great time. I've been on this journey since 2005, actually since I was born, but the major awakening started in 2005. And I turned off TV. I realized that it's a poisonous information that I don't need in my system. So I stopped watching TV in 2005 and started growing spiritually more and personally. And I wanted to answer the questions, all kinds of questions, life, like deep questions. And I did answer questions of after learning numerology, psychology, feng shui, a little bit astrology. I realized that we are here to create, to enjoy the process of our creation. Every one of us is a godlike creator on whatever we want to experience in the physical life. We have 100% right to do so. By the way, I'm disclosing one little detail. I am drinking wine, and what it does to me, I'm actually talking about this personal and spiritual growth on a regular basis, and that was one of my practices for the last 10 years, since 2009, 11 years. But drinking wine, actually, what it does, it somehow brings me to a next kind of a not next, some kind of a prophetic state of mind. I can see the future somehow when I drink wine. I don't know why wine has that kind of effect on me. um, I've noticed that like maybe 4 years ago when I first got really loose and drunk, and I had a lot of wine and cheese and grapes and stuff, and I started prophesizing. I started telling stuff. And my explanation to that is that wine, in my case, it loosens conscious not mind. Conscious mind is a protector. It's like a shield. But when that shield is um, figured away, the subconscious mind and the connection to the whole, the entire world, and to the spiritual world, in my case, kind of opens and becomes activated. So I kind of start seeing the tunnel of the timeline. Um, and sometimes I don't want to disclose some of some people's timeline because I want them to know for how long they're going to be living, when they're going to die, and all that stuff. It's just not fun to know. So I wanted to go live while I'm drinking to kind of record what I'm gonna say while I'm tipsy, and to just share a lot of food for the next 45 days. I've learned from the statistics, from the information, that it's going to be for a while, for another 2 or 3 weeks at least. And listening to the astrologist, he even said that it's going to be till May 10th or 9th or something like that. So another 45 days. So, um, and the further we go, the more people would be infected, the more virus will be like statistically available, so to speak. So we decided to shop now before the planet is too infected to go and do the shopping. So my daughter and I, we went, we wore masks, we wore the protective things, we wiped, and we used sanitizer all the time. And I was a little bit annoyed with people who were not wearing masks. I know it says that you don't have to wear your mask if you're not sick, if you're not, but my suspicion is it said because it is a huge shortage of masks, and that's why they're discouraging people to wear masks. But if you look, like, think logically, if you don't want to contract your like this virus, you have to protect yourself. It said that it's not airborne, but if it lands on your hand, on you touch something, and you touch your nose and mouth or eyes, you can contract this virus. But wearing a mask, you actually protecting yourself to putting anything in your mouth, putting anything in your nose. So I made my own mask out of paper towel, so I don't have to stress the supply of surgical masks. I made my own, and for my daughter as well. So we went shopping. A lot of people are in disbeliefs. They don't really want to hear that it's very serious, but I was watching YouTubes from China, what was going on there before we had this lockdown, before we had this homebound orders from the government, and I was kind of ready for that. I was kind of prepared that if it's gonna hit America, then we're gonna go through the same, or maybe even worse. So I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I am being optimistic. We will get through this. Absolutely. But who will get through this? That's another story. People who are, from my understanding, from my feeling, that the earth it's kind of a filter for the humanity. The earth is going through the changes, and it's shifting to another evolutionary step. And whoever is not in the same vibration with the earth, those bodies, those material vessels, they will be eliminated. It doesn't mean that you're going to die forever. You'll just shell off the physical form that is no longer um, in the same vibration with the earth. You will come back to the earth in a new body, in a new vibration. So even if you'll contract this virus, somehow I think it just makes you think what is really important in your life. I think we will be more willing to grow our own produce, to be more off the grid, to be more conscious about the surrounding, about animals that we are killing and consuming in such a large proportion that it kills us. So this is what I see. This is what I feel. I also feel a great sadness for the people who are suffering. I even cried last night because of that heavy feeling of people being in hospitals and people are suffering from all that. It's this weight is unbearable. If I tap into this, it's serious. Um, the pain, the fear, and the why. There's people asking, why me? I feel it. I'm an empath. So if I allow myself, I start feeling everything. For the most part, to be normal, to not suffer from somebody else's pain, I block myself from all that. But it's still on the background, on the back, like uh, it's still there. It's still playing, and it's still I can still feel it. I can still have this effects from other people having pain, emotional and physical pain. A lot of people are scared. A lot, even more people are in disbelief. They're still in denial. But I'm kind of practical and kind of a rational person. I like statistics. I look at statistics. Even though I'm spiritual and I'm empath, I feel things that other people don't feel. But I still look at statistics. I know the media could be biased and maybe fake news, but I kind of filter through myself and feel like what's fake, what's not fake. And looking at the chart, how many deaths and how many new cases are there, and how the number of um, patients with coronavirus doubled. It's going to triple. It's going to be even larger before people finally take it seriously. Unfortunately, the majority of people, like 90% of the people, are ignorant. They don't take things seriously. They think that it's not gonna, affect me. I'm invincible. We all think that way, and I have the same thing. Like nothing's gonna. But at the same time, I take a great precautions. You should have seen me shopping. I was wearing everything with long sleeves, even though it's California. It's pretty hot out there. I wore a scarf to protect my skin, and half of the scarf was on my head. On top of that, I had a baseball hat, and I made a mask to protect my mouth and my nose. So, and then after everything, I shopped, before even paying, I would bathe my hands with sanitizer, feel that, those bacteria is really uh, killed in my mind, of course, and in reality, maybe because I was very lavishly putting all the sanitizer on my hands. So people would look at me strangely, but um, and one even like the other day, she said they look so weird when I was shopping with my daughter, and I said it's better to look weird than to be dead. Okay, I'd rather pick that option to look weird, to protect myself, to protect my daughter. My daughter actually didn't comply the first time. I had to shake her and say, "You're gonna listen to me. You're gonna put this on, and you're gonna protect yourself. If you don't want to protect yourself for yourself, you're gonna protect yourself from me because if you will contract this virus, I will too. So do it for me if you don't want it for me, for yourself." So I'm pretty strict that way. Anyway, I'm not trying to get the panic, get you be even more scared. I want you to be just realistic. I want to be realistic. I want to be responsible. If you're not wearing a mask, if you're not being cautious for yourself, you don't care about your life, please care about somebody else's life, because every one of us is the transmitter of the virus. If you contract, you will most definitely infect at least one person. It's just the way it is. You sneeze, you touch, So protect yourself so you can protect the whole country. Be a responsible citizen. Please, I'm begging you, be a responsible citizen, at least for somebody else, if you don't care about your own life. And it seems like most of the population is like suicidal, subconsciously or consciously. Why would you not care about your well-being? Why would you not wear a mask? Why would you not do all these precautions measures if you don't, want to die? People don't care about themselves. They just subconsciously suicidal, or basically like ignorant, one or the other. Anyway, and then they get mad. I annoyed one person in the shop. I said, I saw a couple of people wearing a mask. It's like, yes, wear the mask, protect yourself and protect others. And the other woman with two teenage girls, she said, what if I don't have a mask? Well, I said, I didn't have a mask, but I made one. And she started arguing with me, like, you have to wear the mask only when you're like infected, even when you're sick. I say, I understand it's your choice, but I would like to go a step further and protect even from, getting all these droplets on my face. And she said, I just don't like being told what to do. I said, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just care about you. And that's the only reason why I say that. I said, but it's your choice. But I think it's not even her choice. Because if she's sick, she's going to try to like spread that virus at least to one more person. And it spreads exponentially. So I don't think it's our choice anymore to protect ourselves. It's not our choice. You don't have a choice to put a mask on, to be cautious or not, because a lot of other lives and destinies depend on your choice, your behavior, your reaction. So I don't know. Maybe I'm um, a little bit too strict or too demanding, but I think I'm just being realistic. I'm just being realistic. By the way, I am a vegan and I'm eating this wonderful chocolate, dark chocolate with a mango filling. Oh my god, it's so good. So, oh my god, it's really good. Oh, I see wine here. Oh my god, look at me, piggy pig. Mm. Mm-hmm. L'chaim for Jewish. Cheers for the rest. We'll get through this. Just take care of yourself. Just be cautious. I actually wanted to get really, really drunk and tap into the future. Tap and see what's going to happen. That's what I wanted to saw to understand. Drink some more. I am almost there. Almost there. I can even I know the state of my body and my mind when my body is completely like soft and like a rug, it's like bleh. I can't even move it much. And so my conscious mind is like, "Ooh, goodbye." And then my subconscious mind like emerges, and I started seeing a lot of things. It's interesting how your physical body and your conscious mind contain you in that little tiny space. But when the body is not even in control anymore and the mind is not in control anymore, then my subconscious, my other part of me emerges, and I can travel through the time. It is weird, I can tell you. Let me drink some more wine. I want to get to that state. And I wanted to drink some wine for a long time now. I haven't drank it like for months. I just want to relax. Since we have this luxury to sit home and do nothing, why not, right? I don't have to drive anymore. I've done my shopping. You should have seen us washing all this produce. We bought so much food, like 6 or 7 bags, like big bags of. And instead of, I wanted to wipe with like petroleum, with alcohol, but somehow alcohol started wiping the ink from the produce, and I got all everything, bread, like boxes, all this frozen, not frozen, veggies, fruit, everything I washed, and then like really sprayed soap, bucket of water. Excuse me. Sip. I'm gonna help myself a little more. I'm gonna tap my meridians instead of flooding my body completely in alcohol. I can actually tap the meridians and help myself to get there even faster without additional alcohol. Strangely enough, the hard liquor like cognac or vodka, they don't have that effect on me. Only wine. have that effect on me. Okay, I think I'm there. I'm going to ask myself a question. What is really going on? We are saying goodbye to the previous world order. This virus is an offset of the new world. So, my financial field and people consciousness, in the way we treat each other, ourselves, and animals. It's like a major, major, major cleanse. Major, like shaking, like shake. Wake up, motherfucker. Wake up. This is a major, like, shaking of the humanity. You have no luxury of being asleep anymore. You have no luxury to live in denial anymore. You have to come to your true self. There's no other way. There's, like, if before we had different ways of having excuses and different circumstances to get away from that. This time it's major and it's final. You can't escape from yourself anymore. There's no way you can escape from yourself. You must face yourself and save yourself. Only you can do that. The way you feel it, the rest of the world will feel it because you are an extremely significant part of the world. And in order to get you into the right feeling about yourself, you've been given that extreme measure of cleansing. There's no backing up, no fleeing away. This is it. This is the time for you to celebrate your power, for you to celebrate the awakening, for you to finally stop being afraid of your own light, of your own power. You are magnificent. You are the creator. There's no need to hide anymore. That's it. You've been hiding at work, you've been hiding at other things, you've been hiding everywhere from yourself. There's no place left for you to hide anymore. Ha ha ha. You're cornered to face your own magnificence. You're cornered. You're forced to realize how beautiful you are, how powerful you are, how capable you are. That's it. There's no room for playing a victim anymore. Nope. You can't do it anymore. Sorry. You can't play victim anymore. That's it. That role is gone. Because you were never a victim. You were never a victim. You were always manifesting what you want. And if you can manifest everything you want, what does it make you? That makes you a master. That makes you a creator. That makes you a powerful being. So face it, motherfuckers. Face it. And stop being afraid of your own power. Stop being afraid of your own light, your own godlike light. Celebrate it. You're forced to celebrate yourself. You're forced to acknowledge how wonderful, how loving, and how caring you are. God, the human being is based on love. We're all product of love. I don't care if you are like a product of rape or whatever. You know what? I understand. I wasn't maybe the product of rape. Maybe I don't truly understand the significance of that outcome, but you know what? You are here. You survived. You are alive. You manifested yourself even through this kind of circumstances to be a human being here on this very low vibration. That is actually changing. This low vibration is raising. It's raising to a godlike vibration. So, no more hiding, no more victim like mindset. You have no options left. Ha ha ha. You have no options to be a victim anymore. Oh, I love it. I just love it. I love, love, love. Ha. Don't struggle. Don't resist that. Do not resist. Accept your mightiness, your power. Do not resist. It's not going to do any for you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sink that in. Whatever you're afraid of, you manifest. Whatever you believe in, you manifest. Whatever you have around yourself is the product of your own manifestation, which is based on your belief of fear. So you may as well revisit your fears. What are you really afraid of? What are you afraid of? If that fear produces something that you don't like in your life, change the rate of having a wonderful, healthy life, healthy body. I'm so afraid. Yeah, I'm terrified of having beautiful relationship in my life. I'm terrified of having peace in the world. Okay, if you want to do that, that's one way of manifesting something good. Because fear and love, they kind of have the same vibration. Love, though, the vibration of love is a lot more powerful. It's more creative, it creates, it expands. Fear is very narrow. It's very like mono. It doesn't expand, it doesn't grow, it just get fixated on one thing. But it can work too. You can fixate on peace in the world. Like, I'm so fucking afraid of that. The peace in the world will finally prevail. Yeah, that's good too. You can be afraid of peace. You can be afraid of great relationship in your world, in your life. And this is exactly what you're gonna get. You're gonna get a great relationship. But when you're gonna get it, don't screw it up, please. Okay? Don't self-sabotage. Don't ruin it. And like say, okay, I enjoy it, I accept it, I acknowledge it. Thank you. And the more you say, the more the universe is actually giving you 100 times more of what you are thankful for. So saying thank you is not just being polite or being nice or being like whatever. It's actually a very significant phrase. It's a code for the universe. When you say thank you send to the universe a message that I want more of what I am thankful for. And the universe sends you like 10 times fold. It gives you a lot more of what you're thankful for. That's how you grow your wealth. If you have $1, say sincere and joyful thank you for that $1, and the next time the universe will send you $10. Say the prayer and the thank like gratitude for this $10, and the universe will give you $100 next time, and so on and so forth. Being grateful is not just a spiritual thing, it's a very selfish and material thing. And since we live in material world, why not be material? Come on. You don't have to be ashamed of having luxury things. You don't have to be ashamed of having material things. You are a material thing. You manifested yourself in the material world, in the material biological body. So you are ought to be creating material stuff. There's no reason to be ashamed of that. You can be a billionaire, you can be whoever you want. You can manifest anything you want. It is a material world. If you wanted to be fucking spiritual, why did you acquire this physical body in the physical world? You can be spiritual in the heaven and be like, observe other people who are like in the physical body and just learn from Victoria manifests this biological body. It's a great work. It's a really like focused mindset to manifest yourself in this body because you really wanted to experience what it is to be a human being, what it is to create in this very low vibration, and what it is to actually help to raise this low vibration to the next level, because the earth is going through transition. It's going through transition to the vibration of love and expression. So it's a very interesting time for the earth and for the whole humanity. If you are in this physical flesh, that means you, as a spirit, as a soul, as an alien, you decided to experience what it is to have this physical stuff, this physical world, this physical, whatever physical you want to be. It doesn't matter if it's luxurious or poor. For manifestation, it's all the same. It's like, you've heard many times that God doesn't really care if you're poor or if you're rich because it's all physical. You wanted to manifest yourself in the poor, like being homeless and, scratch yourself and being fed, feed the fleas and all kinds of bacteria. Yes, this is the physical manifestation, and it has the same right to be on this earth as being extremely pristine, sophisticated, and like living a luxurious life. It's all the same. That's why it says, like in the Bible, I think it says that God doesn't care if you're rich or poor, because all that is the manifestation of God. It's the variety of the physical world. Whichever variety you pick, that's as long as it makes you happy, that only matters. That's all that matters. If you're not happy to be poor, if you're not happy to struggle with the financial whatever problems you have, create a new vision what you really want to have, because your mind is so fucking powerful. Do not underestimate your mind. Not underestimate your mind. With your mind, you create anything you want. So if you're not happy, you've played with that, okay, it no longer serves you. So create something that serves you now. Create something that will bring you joy. Apparently, in the past, some suffering, some pain, some illness, some whatever you were experiencing, it was actually bringing you joy, bringing you some like very acute and very rich experience. But if you're fed up with this experience, you don't have to be in that experience anymore. Create something else. Like if you want to experience something else, pick what you want to experience, though you think you don't. That's all bogus. Every single person, every single human being has this capacity to imagine, to see, at least to feel with your body what it feels like to have this and that, whatever you want to have in your life. Just feel it. This is also a key to manifestation to whatever you want to have. For example, I really want to settle down. I really want to have a house. Before, I was afraid of having a house before, like, because it will be like it will bound me in one place, and I'm not going to be able to explore different states, different countries, different places. But now I kind of am ready to have a house. Besides, it doesn't mean that I'm like chained to the house and I can't be like flying somewhere else and have a house somewhere else, okay? Or just travel. So, for example, if I want to settle down and I want some acreage, at least like half an acre, let's say 1 acre of land, so I can plant some stuff. I really like gardening. I really like growing myself. I grew up that kind of setting. I have a house. We grew all kinds of fruit house. So if I want a house, all I need to do is to feel that wonderful feeling what the house will give me, like being in your own house. What it is for you to be in your own house. What kind of feeling are you gonna have? I feel like it's a liberation. It's home. It's the ground, the earth that I can step barefoot every morning and just connect with the earth. It's going barefoot in my archery and pick that apple or pick that orange and eat it for just God and thank Earth, thank everybody else in the world for having me, for giving me that opportunity to have this house. So that's what I'm feeling. I want the house to be close to Earth, be close to Mother Earth. I want that. I'm done hopping from one apartment to another, from one house to another. I want to have my own house that I own, that I am fully responsible for. That's what I want. So when you make that 100% certain decision, when you feel that feeling of having it, the feeling of already like feeling that you already have it, it creates a matrix of your future house. And the more you feel it, the more you like enjoy the feeling, the faster it manifests. You have to put some details. For example, I don't want to marry a man and have this house. No, I want it to be my own. I want to be solely responsible for this house. And if a man will emerge in my life later, it's okay. But this is my land. This is my fortress. This is my responsibility. I want to take that responsibility. Yes, that's a very important point in our lives. When we want something and then we get it, we don't want to take responsibility for it. So you have to tune yourself. You have to get ready to take the full 100% responsibility for what you are manifesting. I am ready, finally, to take a full 100% responsibility for a house. That's what was missing. I wasn't ready to take a full responsibility for it. I was still thinking, like, maybe I'll have some, I don't know, tenants or something, and I'll still will be like going away. But no, I want to be 100% responsible for it. It's like I am sinking 100% of myself into that wish. And when you do that, it manifests very quickly. For a long time, I wanted to win a lottery jackpot. But now I extremely like, I feel that I wasn't really ready to take a full responsibility for those millions of dollars I would win. It's a lot of responsibility. What are you going to do with those millions of dollars? It's a lot of it's a huge karma. It's a huge chunk of energy like suddenly falling on you. It's, am I ready to take a full responsibility for this energy? For this huge chunk of energy? Am I? Are you? Are you ready to take responsibility? Full responsibility, 100% responsibility for whatever you're wishing for. If you're wishing for a man in your life or a woman in your life that you want to spend the rest of your life, are you ready to take 100% responsibility for this woman or for this man? I think I just found the key of a wish come true. It will never come true if you're not ready to take a whole responsibility for it. Because taking full responsibility means like sinking it in your system 100%. You know what you want. 100%. And you know 100% what you're gonna do with it. And you know that what you got will bring happiness not just for you, but for somebody else, at least one person. Yeah. You don't even have to bring a good stuff for somebody else to manifest it. You just have to sink that in 100% by taking 100% responsibility for your wish. Oh my God, I'm talking too much. But that's what I get when I get my body shut down, my consciousness shut down, and I let my spirit talk. Okay, I want to ask something else while I'm in that state. Let me add some more. Let me add some more. Let me get myself even more to that state. What do I feel? There's a 50-50 feeling. 50% is extreme sadness and mourning for the bodies, for the people who are suffering. And the other 50% is an extreme exhilaration, extreme joy of experiencing the final step to transitioning to the next dimension, the next world. Hmm. It's like half and half. It's unsettling. It is unsettling. You could give in into like sadness, being very, very sorry for the people who are dying, mourning for their loss, mourning for their dying and not understanding. But it's a human thing. They will reincarnate if they want. They will reincarnate with a better knowledge of themselves and the world. I kind of want to focus on them a little bit, to give him love, them love, to give them courage to go through this, to give them a little bit will part with your physical vessel. You can always reincarnate yourself, you can always come back and choose a better life. You can choose a better world. There are so many, like billions of variety of the world, and you can choose the world that you want to experience. The world is your toy. The world is your like chest of toys. You can choose any toy you want. I happen to choose this version of the world because I'm a drama queen. I wanted some drama. I wanted to choose some events happening once in a while. And I wanted to choose my personal growth. But just remember time, parallel worlds. You can choose any variety, any version of the reality. It's your choice, it's your power. And you actually do that. You constantly, by making a certain choice, you go from one version of the reality to another version of the reality. So you're constantly picking the version of the reality. So you are not bound to one. You always have a choice. You always have a creative abundance. So it's not a dead end. It's not that you're like destined and there is no other way you can experience your life. No, there's like different ways of experiencing. The only thing is the family you're born into gives you that blueprint, so to speak. And you see everything through the eyes of your parents, through the eyes of your society you were born with, into. But that's just one little tiny 1,000 of a fraction of the version of the world you can have. You can choose another version of your world. You can choose whatever version. You can choose a weird, like being an alien or being whatever, or being a tsar or a king or whatever. You can be anything you want. You can experience anything you want. That brings me to one thought, though. Recently, I watched some videos about people with multiple personalities. They literally have different, multiple, like different personalities, different entities living within one physical vessel, within one body. And all of them have their own um, temperament, different interests, different tastes, different everything. And I was thinking that what if this kind of individuals who are hosting different personalities actually are connected to different people from different parts of the world, or maybe different parts of the dimension realities, who actually exist, but they are connected and they can like emerge through this physical vessel anytime they are permitted to. There was a movie, I forgot what was the name of it. There were like 9 or 10 individuals who felt what each of them was going through. And there were different genders, different age, different everything, but they felt. And if one is experiencing pain, the other like 9 also experience pain. They know what's going on. They like physically experiencing that. And if one is having sex, for example, everybody else was feeling and even seeing in their mind that person who that personality was having sex with. So I wanted to ask a question of that person who has different personalities. Has he or she tried to ask that personality where exactly he or she lives? Maybe they actually live in a different part of the country and they just connect, they just share consciousness together. Two different physical vessels, but they're sharing. They're connected somehow. That is a very interesting subject to explore. She says one of the person who has like several personalities. She said that it's the result of a traumatic experience in childhood. Since she had this traumatic experience, her consciousness couldn't develop into one person with several traits. It formed into different personalities to protect her, to like keep her away from that trauma. So one person, like one personality was and is responsible for like sexual part, sexual behavior. Another one is responsible for being rational, a business like minded person. Another one was very feminine, very soft, and very like giving. Another like a different like different sexes, even like a man or a woman, a girl, or even she had a dead person like a host. It's very interesting because I believe we all have different personalities, different aspects, different fragments of our whole self, responsible for different um, events. Like, for example, if I am in the leading role, I am like surfacing a very masculine, very straightforward and rational and a very kind of strict personality. When I am like with a man, for example, I emerge as a very feminine, very soft, very giving, very like enveloping and nurturing personality. When I'm with myself, I could be anything I want. Without when I'm with cats, for example, I can feel them. I can read their minds. I can even behave like cats. Like I feel what they want, what they're like. When I'm outside, for example, in public, I have a different personality too. I am behaving differently too. So doesn't mean that I have a multiple personality disorder. No, it's a whole me, but I am invoking, I'm activating different parts of me according to the circumstances I am in. I don't have to transition. It's a whole spectrum of me, like activated instantly according to the circumstances I'm in. But in this particular individuals, uh, they have to really shift, like a certain personality have to be like putting forward and being in charge in this particular situation. It's very interesting. Anyway, I bet I've been talking for an hour now. And one thought, like on back of my mind is like constantly playing, like pecking me. Will I be ashamed of all that I have said when I'm going to be sober? Will I be ashamed? Will I actually acknowledge it as something useful and something um, worthy of listening to? But you know what? I wouldn't say that I don't care who thinks what. I do care, but I do know at the same time that some people will find it useful. Some people will find it just fucking drunken ladies just trying like blabbing whatever out of whatever comes to her mind and just spits out of her mouth. Some people will find it profound and will resonate with every word I say. And some people will say, fuck it, it's not for me. Just click off. In either way, I'm happy. Um, there's no even one single person who could please and satisfy like trillions of people at the same time. For every person, there is a certain audience, a certain people who click, who can be at the in this on the same wave. So people who are on the same wave, hi, I love you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me. I'm saying it with my closed eyes because I kind of feel as soon as I will open my eyes, I will enter my conscious mind and I will feel differently. So while I'm in that subconscious mind, while I'm in that state of mind of open, not being carried by the outer world, I just want to say, I love you so much. Every single one of you is a part of me, and I am a part of you. I am a little tiny particle that completes a puzzle in your vast, humongous puzzle of the magnificent self. We are all one, just like little tiny cells in our bodies construct the whole body of who we are. And just like every one of us construct the universe, we are all interconnected. We're all one. And that one is God. We're different cells of God, different manifestations, different versions of God. Face it. In this quarantine, this virus, this pandemic in the world is just a force for you to acknowledge it. I love you all. Bye.